What do people eat? If you don't know what people eat on a primarily plant-based diet, and we always assume everybody knows, but I learned that so many people don't know things that we always think as fitness and health coaches that you know. So, what do people eat primarily on a plant-based diet? Fruits. I'm all about berries, any form of berries, but there's bananas, oranges, grapes, vegetables, leafy greens like spinach, kale, carrots, bell peppers, tomatoes. Hey there, welcome back to the Pursue Your Spark podcast. And I am your host, Heike Yates. And today we're diving into something truly intriguing, which are the lessons from the blue zones. These are the special places around the world where people not only live longer, but thrive well into their 90s and beyond. Have you ever wondered what their secret sauce is? Well, today we're talking about everything from their diet and exercise habits to the strong sense of community and purpose that keeps them going. And the best part, we'll figure out today how you can sprinkle some of that blue zone magic into your own life. So whether you're enjoying your morning coffee, out for a walk, or just taking a moment to yourself, get ready to be inspired. Let's dive in and learn how to live longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life straight from the wisdom of the world's healthiest people. We live in a world that is inundated with stress, unhealthy food, and let's be honest, little exercise. It seems like we can't escape taking medications to reduce cholesterol, maintain a healthy weight, or curb our blood pressure. But what if there was another way? Let's look at diet, exercise, stress, and the power of a supportive community. These elements can make a world of difference. And that brings us to the blue zones, those rare regions where people live significantly longer, healthier lives. What can we learn from them? So before we dive into finding out where those magical zones are, let's find out who came up with this concept of the magical blue zones. So the concept of the blue zones was developed by Dan Buettner, a National Geographic Fellow and author. He, along with a team of researchers, identified and studied regions around the world where people live significantly longer and healthier lives. Their findings were published in the book, The Blue Zones, Lesson from Living Longer from the People who lived the longest. And I will leave a link in the show notes so you can check out his book. So the 5 recognized regions for blue zones are Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Nicola, Costa Rica, Icaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California in the United States. So this past year, we were able to travel to Portugal. I have never been to Portugal. And yes, Portugal is not on the list of those blue zones, but I felt like I was in one of those blue zones. It was so relaxing. The food was so healthy. We walked a lot. There was a lot of public transportation. Everybody was friendly, and everybody, except for us tourists, took their time to do stuff. He sat at a restaurant, and he was not in, out, wham, bam, as I sometimes like to call it in the States, because you go in, the waiter comes right away, you get served, you get the check, and you get out. No, it was like sitting down. How are you? Here's some water. Here's a basket of bread. Here, look at the menu. Do you want some wine with your lunch? Great wine in Portugal. And so the meal took a little while longer, but you enjoyed it. There was no stress eating the meal, being finished on time, and hustling out. And you could sit there and nobody kicked you off the table because the table was needed. So that to me felt almost like I was in one of those blue zones. In the blue zones, one of the key factors to impressive longevity is their primarily plant-based diet. And I learned this in Portugal too. We ate a lot of fresh fish, very little meat, sometimes some chicken, and rarely ever beef. But we had a lot of vegetables that came with our meals. So this isn't about a strict vegetarianism, but rather focus on whole natural foods that nourish the body. Their diets are rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, providing a powerhouse of nutrition that support overall health and well-being. Think of the energy you get from all this good food. Also, imagine starting your day with a colorful plate of fresh fruits, maybe some yogurt on top of it, incorporating hearty vegetables into every meal and enjoying the benefits of whole grains and legumes that keep you full, and I say it again, and energized. So, what do people eat? If you don't know what people eat on a primarily plant-based diet, and we always assume everybody knows, but I learned that so many people don't know things that we always think as fitness and health coaches that you know. So, what do people eat primarily on a plant-based diet? Fruits. I'm all about berries, any form of berries, but there's bananas, oranges, grapes, vegetables, leafy greens like spinach, kale, carrots, bell peppers, tomatoes. Well, I would sum this up with eat the rainbow. Anything with color goes. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, brown rice, whole wheat bread. Then we have our legumes, our beans, lentils, chickpeas, and peas, nuts and seeds, of course, almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. Then comes into play the healthy fats, avocado, of course, olive oil, seed oils, whatever you can think of healthy fats, put it in there. And also, when you think primarily plant-based diet, you may think, hey, wait a minute, Heike, you always talk about have protein with every meal. Well, a diet rich in healthy protein also includes lentils, edamame. Edamame are soybeans harvested before they mature, and you often get them in Asian restaurants. Then we have beans, split peas, tofu, oats, quinoa. Did you know that quinoa is high in protein? It's fantastic to create a quinoa salad. And I just did this yesterday, adding all kinds of vegetables, making and onions are good too, and adding salad dressing that was olive oil and it was honey. And I mixed it in and I put it in. It was fantastic. And it was a complete meal with all the things that my body needed needs to stay energized. So by focusing on these foods, you'll embrace a diet that's not only delicious, but also packed, as I just said, with nutrients and help your body thrive. It's all about making simple, sustainable changes that can lead to a healthier and more vibrant life. Now you say, Heike, this sounds really great, but I like some ideas from my meal prep or everyday meal planning. Here's what I got for you. Simple, healthy, and delicious recipe packs. I have 3 of those. I'll leave a link in the show notes for you to get your hands on it, because we incorporate in those meal packs everything for a healthy diet that makes you feel full and energized. Now, speaking of full, you know, if you've been following me, I always talk about eat until you're 80% full. And when I did research for the podcast, I did not know that, so I learned something. In Okinawa, one of the blue zones in Japan, there's a unique and powerful principle they live by called, and I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm going for it, hara hachibu. This Confucian teaching advises people to eat until they're 80% full. It's a mindful approach to eating that helps prevent overeating and promotes better digestion. Instead of eating until you're stuffed or you have to open up the button on your pants, Okinawans stop when they feel satisfied but not completely full. This practice not only helps in maintaining a healthy weight, but also contributes to their overall longevity and well-being. We teach that in all of my courses, and I've been talking about this. 80% full is the way to go. So what does 80% full mean? Well, you have room to eat more. You could eat more, but you choose not to eat more because you're satisfied. By adopting Hara Hachibu, you can cultivate a greater awareness of your body's signals saying, hey, I've had enough, and develop a healthier relationship with food. It encourages you to slow down, savor your meals, and truly listen to your body's needs. This simple yet profound habit can be a game changer in how you approach eating, helping you feel more energized and balanced throughout the day. So, not rushing through meals. I also teach, or you've heard it before, 20 minutes for a meal. And that can be a long time if your breakfast is a yogurt or 2 eggs. So maybe not, we're not looking at that for the 20 minutes, but think about it. If you have a nice lunch, a nice dinner, you don't want to rush through this and say, okay, I'm done. So I have something for you to listen to, and that's called What's the Difference Between Mindful versus Intuitive Eating? And I'll leave a link in the show note. That was a special episode that I recorded a couple years back, and it's still valid. So I'll put it in the link in the show notes so you can listen to that episode. Now you might think, ooh, this is great, Heike. 20 minutes for a meal, 80% full. You gave me a list of the foods that I might be incorporating into my daily life, but what does it really look like when I actually, start making my meals? What could I swap out? So here are some food ideas for you, or to help you swap out some of the foods or some ideas that you can say, oh, I never thought of it. Swap out rice for quinoa is number one. Quinoa is nutrient-dense whole grain that is rich in protein and fiber. And yes, we need to get a lot of fiber in, and that's why this diet is, or this way of eating, I should say, rather than diet, is ideal. Now, then we have swap sugary snacks for fresh fruit. Replace candy cookies with natural sweet options like berries, apples, grapes, anything fruit-like that's in season. I always like to eat in season, so we're supporting our local farmers too. Swap soda for herbal water or water with lemon. Reduce sugar intake by opting for refreshing herbal teas or water infused with lemon and cucumber. I mean, if you don't know, there's so many bottled water, although I don't want to steer you in the direction of bottled water, but that you can buy that have these infused herbs already in there. If you can't think of anything, just drink water with lemon, drink water with... the word I can't think of right now is mint. Here we go. With mint is very tasty. Or you can make a tea with fresh ginger if you like something hot. Very healthy, very nutritious. Swap white bread for whole grain bread. Whole grain bread provides more fiber. We have fiber again and nutrients than a white bread. And I know it's like peanut butter and jelly sandwich on a whole grain may not be your jam, but you know what? This is an option. Opt for the best choice you can make at the time you're eating. Swap chips for nuts and seeds. For a crunchy snack, try almonds, walnuts, sunflower seed instead of potato chips. Swap creamy salad dressings for olive oil and vinegar. Use olive oil and vinegar for dressing up your salads. It makes it healthier. Remember the example I gave you earlier? I did the honey and the olive oil for my quinoa salad. You just have to think about it a little differently. So maybe you want to write down the list and think of the things that you're already eating and saying, okay, Heike said, do nuts and seeds. All right, nuts and seeds, what do I have? Oh, I got walnuts, I got sunflower seeds, and I got maybe some hemp seed. What can I do with that? So go back and grab one of those meal packs or recipe packs. Let's move on. Swap red meats for beans and lentils. Incorporate more plant-based proteins like beans, lentils. And it doesn't have to be every meal. If you love red meat, just, Meatless Monday is a thing. Could be your ticket. Swap ice cream for Greek yogurt with honey. Oh my God, it's so tasty. I remember, and that reminds me of my trip to Greece where I did this every morning. So delicious. And it's just a plain yogurt, and you just drizzle it on so you don't put a ton of honey on, but it's a great swap for dessert. Also swap processed breakfast cereals for oatmeal. Start your day with a bowl of oatmeal. I keep stumbling over my words today. Top with fruits and nuts for a delicious and healthy breakfast. You have options, so you can mix things together. Or what I do is swap butter for avocado. When I eat toast, when I eat my whole grain toast, I always use avocado on my toast. It's so good. And also when I went to Australia, uh, toast sandwiches everywhere. Oh my God. With avocado fresh, with seasoning, with little hot peppers on them. So these simple swaps can make a big difference in moving towards a more healthier, more plant-based diet inspired by the blue zones. Now, let's talk about exercise. And if you've been listening and been following me, you know I'm originally from Germany. And the shock I had when I moved to the States and everybody drove. Public transportation is not always available where we live. Some people just don't have a bus system or a metro system or a subway system or a road car system, and they're solely dependent on their car. There are also no bike paths to choose. So when I came from Germany, I was shocked. I was shocked. Nobody walked, it seemed to me. Nobody biked to the grocery store. Everybody got in their car and they went somewhere to do exercise. It's gotten better. I've been here 40 years in the States and I'm still here. And it's gotten better. We have better bike paths. We have better systems for people to be not dependent on their cars. But living longer has also to do with incorporating exercise into your day instead of relying on the gym or the set workout. In the blue zones, natural physical activity is just part of everyday life, just like in Germany, which is not a blue zone. And you don't hit the gym for intense workouts. Instead, you stay active throughout the day, like walking is their go-to for getting around in the blue zones. Whether it's to the market, visiting friends, or enjoying the day. Gardening is another favorite, and not just a favorite of mine, it seems, but also in the blue zone, offering not only a chance to move, but also a way to relax and connect with nature. And I just saw a reel of a friend of mine that has been a guest on the podcast, and she was doing the reel about how soothing it is to take a walk outside when the sun's shining, when the plants are in the wind, when the birds are chirping, and it's so relaxing and you don't have any other noise. It's fantastic. These low intensity, consistent forms of exercise keep them fit and vibrant. You too can do this. Instead of walking on the treadmill, go outside. Walk outside in your neighborhood. Go to the park around the corner and do your walk in there. It's all about incorporating movement into your daily routines and in a way that's sustainable and also fun. I know we keep talking about walking up and down the stairs. That's maybe not that fun, but it's an important thing to do to keep your legs strong. And always, Pilates and strength training are fantastic for promoting muscular health and longevity. They help build and maintain muscle mass, improve flexibility, and enhance overall strength. And that's so important as we age. Plus, they boost your metabolism and support joint health. And you probably think, hey, Heike, you said, let's not go to the gym. I don't have to do Pilates at the gym. I don't have to do strength training at the gym. I can use my body weight. I can use my kitchen counter to do workouts. If you've been following me, you know all these tricks. And if you've not, you start following me. And so you learn all these simple but very effective strategies, like we're also learning from the Blue Zone. So to fit more physical activity into your busy schedule, try simple changes like taking the stairs, start short walks during your lunch breaks maybe, or incorporate body weight exercises or Pilates like the roll up or holding a plank while watching TV. Even small, consistent efforts can make a big difference in our health and well-being. And just recently, a client of mine shared with me that her health insurance has a plan where every day she does 10 to 12 minutes of workout. And she said, Heike, oh my God, I'll see you once a week for an hour. Is that enough? And I was just nodding my head saying, absolutely, it's enough. You do something every day, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it changes up. And it's a short period of time. It doesn't stress you out to get it in. It doesn't take a lot of time. And it doesn't take you, or for the most part, doesn't require you to even get into workout clothes. You can just do it in some, I would say almost PJs, but no, in some shorts and a t-shirt and be done with it. Now, I have a podcast for you, number 90, the best exercises for women over 50. I'll leave a link in the show note for you to check out, because this is also one of the main questions I get. Heike, what exercises are best for us women over 50? And let's talk about the power of community. And we're going back to Okinawa. The concept of moai highlights the importance of social circles that support healthy behaviors. These lifelong groups provide a sense of belonging, emotional support, and accountability, encouraging members to maintain healthy habits. Being part of a moai, again, I don't know if I pronounce it, but I'm assuming it's moai, means you're surrounded by friends who uplift and motivate you, make it easy to stick to your wellness goals. And this strong social network fosters not only physical health, but also emotional well-being, providing that having a supportive community is the key to live longer and healthier lives. What have I been telling you? Set boundaries. This is a nice way of phrasing setting boundaries. Say no to people. Don't have negative people in your life. Don't interact with negative people as much as possible. Stay away from them. Find a supportive community that is along your lines, that is supporting your goals, that is supporting your intermittent fasting strategies, that wants to go with you for a walk instead of sitting around and watching a TV show. So somebody that says, yeah, I want to do this with you. I want to support you, which also supports me. I mean, how much fun is it to go out with my triathlon group and meet for a swim, meet for a bike ride? And I don't no longer run, so I'm actually a duathlete. So I do only swim and I bike because of the arthritis in my knee. But I can hike, I can walk, and I can meet up with somebody that says, hey, I want to see you. I want to chat with you. Let's go exercise together. And if you have friends that you do exercises with, you do more than just talk about your exercise. You talk about what really goes on in your life. In the Blue Zones, social engagement and strong family ties play a crucial role in their longevity and happiness. Those close-knit relationships provide, again, emotional support, reduce stress because you talk about stuff, and create a sense of purpose and belonging. That feeling of, I'm alone, I'm the only one, is really, you can do something about it. It takes effort. It takes effort. It's not people come to you and say, hey, Susie, let's go out. You may have to be the one that constantly goes, hey, let's do something together. Let's go out. But what if you are shy? What can you do? You can join local clubs or groups that align with your interests. Participate in community events and create an online group where you can share goals and encourage each other. And then you meet in person. We are no longer in COVID. So surround yourself with positive, like-minded people can help you stay motivated and committed to your healthy habits. Also, when we talk about stress, we need to reduce our stress and we need to be mindful of what causes us stress. Not all stress is bad. Some stress is good, but being constantly under stress to get on time to work, pick up the kids on time, cook the meal on time, look pretty and sexy for the husband and spouse or significant other is all stress that we can mitigate. Stress can have an profound impact on your health and longevity, leading to issues like, high blood pressure, a weakened immune function, and chronic illnesses. That's why stress reduction techniques are so crucial. Incorporating practice like mindfulness, as in mindful eating, mindful movement. Maybe if you like to meditate, you can meditate. And deep breathing into your daily routine can make a big difference. Because when I think about the people that I talk to mostly, they don't breathe enough. So in my practice, I incorporate deep breathing with all my clients, whether online or in person. Take time for yourself and engage with the activities you love and maintain a positive outlook, especially when you feel you are starting out with a community, when you feel the stress is rising, when you feel anxiety, when you can't sleep. Sleep is a big one. Remember that reducing stress isn't about feeling better in the moment. It's about promoting long-term health and vitality. Many people in these regions, the blue zones, are starting the day with a meditation or a prayer and setting the peaceful tone of the day. So what can you do? Take 5 minutes each morning to keep or start deep breathing. It's just sitting up and on the side of your bed and just take a few deep breaths instead of reaching for the phone right away, checking your email. Keep a gratitude journal to reflect on positive aspects in your life. A gratitude journal is so, so important. Take a little notebook, write it down. And no gratitude is too little to write into your book. But when you read it, you realize how blessed we are, how fortunate we are to have these moments in our lives. Practice brief meditation sessions, focusing again on your breath to stay grounded. And meditation doesn't have to be sitting in one spot and meditating, letting go of what bothers us or what's on our mind. This is definitely a practice that needs to be practiced. These small steps can lead to significant improvements into your mental and physical health, helping you manage stress more effectively. And of course, I got a resource for you for that, and that's episode number 205, 6 Ways to Double Down on Your Midlife Wellness. I'll leave a link in the show notes so you can listen to episode 205. Let's talk about purpose and longevity. We all need a purpose to get up in the morning. We all need to find a way that lights us up to get out of bed every morning and do the things we want to do that light us up, to go to a community center, to go out biking, which is what I'm going to do after I record this episode. I already have my bike clothes on, and my purpose for the moment is I'm going out to do my ride that I missed yesterday because we had big storm warnings, and my purpose is to stay healthier and live longer and live better longer. In the blue zones, having a sense of purpose is a common thread that significantly contributes to their longevity. And here's another one of the Okinawan. It's Ikigai, or Plan de Vida in Costa Rica. This sense of purpose gives individuals a reason to get up in the morning and stay engaged with life. It provides motivation, reduces stress, and promotes mental and physical well-being. I got somewhere to go. Embracing a sense of purpose can add years to your life by fostering a positive outlook and a proactive approach to life, making life more fulfilled and meaningful. Be proactive. Like I said, your friends may not call you, but once you call them to go out for a walk, they're like, oh yeah, count me in. All the things that I've been talking about so far is that it's really important to think about what your life will be like when you potentially retire. What will you do when you retire? Do you have a plan going forward? Having a sense of purpose can truly transform your life, adding not just years, but also quality to those years. I encourage you to explore your own passion and see how they contribute to your sense of purpose. When you're driven by what you love, it becomes easier to stay motivated and engaged. To help you identify and integrate your sense of purpose into your lives, here's some simple exercises that you might want to try out. Reflect on your passion. Take some time to write down activities or topics that excite you and inspire you. And if nothing comes to mind, ask your friends, ask your family. What do they do? Sometimes we are stuck in our own thoughts and we don't realize what else is beyond our own ideas. Set intentional goals. Think about what you want to achieve and set small, actionable steps to get there. For instance, you could plan a trip. You're like, oh my God, I wanted to go on this cruise for so long. Well, set actionable steps. How healthy do I need to be? How strong do I need to be? How much money do I need to have? And how much time does it take? And start planning baby steps for this trip. And in another episode, I've mentioned that years ago, we ran the Antarctica Marathon. It was a really expensive trip, and I really wanted to do it. And my husband said, oh, it's so expensive. And I said, okay, give me some time. So for 3 years, I saved money so I could put that money towards the installments of the payment for the trip. Then we continued running and we continued practicing our distances so we could run the marathon. Then after 3 years, we went to run the marathon in Antarctica, which also goes with the next step with creating a vision board. Cut something out, create your own vision board or make it online. I'm sure there are some apps that help you create your own vision board. When you see it, you can dream about it. And the more you visualize, the more you know what you need to do or find out the steps you need to take to do what it is that you want from your vision board. And as always, anything goes. Practice gratitude. We talked about that already. Every day, write something down, like 3 things down, what you're grateful for that align with your passion and your goals. So my latest goal setting or vision board is I would like to hike across Maryland. They just did this race called the HAM, H-A-M, HAM. And it's 42 miles. And at the moment, I can only hike 6 miles. And they do this race every 2 years. So on my vision board or my intentions is, since I can't run anymore, I want to stay away from getting my knee replaced as long as possible. I would love to do that hike. So in 2 years from now, keep your eyes peeled. Volunteer. Volunteering can give you such a sense of purpose. And it fills you with hope and with smiling faces for the people that you help, that you volunteer for. And again, you meet new people. And then ask for feedback. Ask friends and family what they see as your strength if you're stuck with number 1, and what they see as your if you don't know what your purpose is or your passion. Ask them. They might tell you. And especially good friends will. By taking these steps, you'll be on your way to discovering and living out your purpose, enriching your life in a meaningful way. So there you have it. The lessons from the blue zones that you can implement. So take action. After listening to this episode, you may listen to it again and write down, swap ideas, or just say, oh yeah, okay, while I'm listening, I can go through my pantry and see what I have that aligns with this podcast episode and Heike's ideas. So take action is what it's all about. I don't want you to look back on your life saying, I wish I'd listened to this episode and took action. This is why I'd love to hear your feedback and stories about integrating these blue zone habits into your life. Please send me an email with the subject line Blue Zone to share your experiences and thoughts on this episode. And I do this with every podcast episode because I do want to hear you. It's not just hearsay or she's like, yeah, because the people that reached out know that I responded, and some of you have been on the podcast with the things that you shared with me. So in addition, and taking action, I'm offering a 20-minute Spark Breakthrough call to help you create your own Blue Zone inspired life. It's a great opportunity to get personalized advice and support. Sign up today and start your journey to a healthier, more fulfilled life. I leave a link in the show notes so you can schedule your personal 20-minute spark breakthrough call. So let's live healthier, let's live more fulfilled, and let's live like we are living in the blue zones. With that, my friends, I'm out of here, and I'll see you next time on the Pursue Your Spark podcast. Ciao.